Hello and welcome back to Ame's Bookshelf. I'm Teresa Garcia or Amehana Arashi, depending on where you've met me. Now, tonight I am reviewing for you another book by John F. Morrissey. This is Johnny Frankenstein, The Night Chicago Died, and I hope the animals in the background are being quiet enough instead of breathing heavily, because I am cold, but I'm having to have the heater on, and I'm always cold right now. Now, Johnny Frankenstein is a series of books. I forget how many are currently in the series. I haven't read them all yet. This one should be the second in the series, if I'm remembering correctly. I need to sit down and finish writing out all the backlogged reviews. Now, The Night That Chicago Died, I'm going to rate as 17 and up because of some of the happenings that go on in it, some very intimate things. I do rate it a 5-star because I did enjoy the storyline. There were a few typos and things. It wasn't all that bad. I mean, I've seen a lot worse. So I really try to not get hung up too much if I come across a few typos or things that I can see how they could have happened. As comparing this to the last book, it's cleaned up a lot. So I expect to see the same kind of thing in the other books in the series as I make my way through. They are very much light reads. I mean, they're adventure crime stories. You're not reading this for great literary content. You're reading it for a fun story. So you really can't pick too much at tropes. Now, this is a very firmly situated supernatural tale. You do have, first of all, Frankenstein's monster is Johnny Frankenstein, the Frankenstein's monster. You have, in the last book we had werewolves. In this book we have Egyptian gods. I mean, he's spanning the entire world with what he is encompassing, going through the different mythologies. So it's not hugely localized. It just usually takes place in and around Chicago. Johnny Frankenstein is a private investigator and a monster hunter, which is really unusual because, well, he is a monster. In this particular store, the museum's been accosted by animated cadavers wielded by mystery necromancers. Now, nothing's ever simple for Johnny. I mean, he was a human being and wound up getting his brain stuck in the Frankenstein monster. I mean, he gets some serious bad luck. So he's got to deal with this. He's got to figure out who's doing this, track them down. And he thought he had seen a whole lot of wild stuff already. So being pitted against Egyptian gods and finding out that these guys are real really cracks his worldview open even further than it already has. It is a short book, so you can read it quickly. It's something you'd pick up for rainy day reading. The language, I gotta get back onto that. It's rough. He cusses. He swears up and down. There's references to sex. I mean, don't let your little kids read this one. It's not intended for them. It's intended for us bigger people. Okay. In my notes, I see that I wrote down a bit about it reminded me of Pulp Fiction noir. Yeah, I still agree with that. It is very much Pulp Fiction-y. Not Pulp Fiction-y as in the story Pulp Fiction, but as the genre Pulp Fiction. Big difference there. Would I recommend this? Yeah, I recommend it. Yeah. I mean, I don't recommend it for a literary read. I recommend it for kicking back. I want a light story. I'm feeling kind of crummy. I want a good self-insert kind of tale. Because you can, as you read it, you can kind of stick yourself in Johnny Frankenstein's shoes, or you can stick yourself in, one of the supporting characters. And speaking of characters, we do see character arcs going on. This story does have character development. It's not cookie cutter characters, which would be really simple to do, but it's not. He doesn't do that. So, if you're looking for a good, light, fun read, you like gritty stuff, go for it. I'll see you another night. Happy reading, guys.